After the appointment, my husband and I sat in our favorite restaurant, holding each other's hands, silently crying, as we did the one thing you are not supposed to do when given a diagnosis. Google it. When I was younger, there were two things that I really wanted to do. I wanted to be in the TV on Sesame Street with Grover, and I wanted to become a mom. So when my husband and I found out we were pregnant, I was over the moon with joy that one of the things that I had wanted my entire life was finally going to happen. But one thing that happens when you're over the moon is that there's always a bungee cord that comes and grabs your leg and brings you back down to reality. At our 20-week ultrasound, we found out that our little one was diagnosed with a congenital brain condition called Dandy Walker, to which we said, "What is that?" And at lunch, after the appointment, my husband and I sat in our favorite restaurant, holding each other's hands, silently crying, as we did the one thing you are not supposed to do when given a diagnosis. Google it. And we found out that it's a condition that affects the cerebellum, so the area of the back of your brain that controls movement. So now, fear and anxiety are setting in because we don't know if our little one will walk. Will they talk? Will they need a walker, a wheelchair? We have no idea. A few months later, our little one is born, Angelica. Yes, named after the character from Hamilton the musical. And I, because of a C-section, can't leave the hospital when she's transported to a children's hospital 45 minutes away. And I am there with two feelings simultaneously. One, this weird sense of calm, knowing that medically she's being taken care of, and the second, absolute devastation that my newborn is being ripped away from me and I can't follow her. I had been a mom for less than 24 hours, and already I couldn't give her what she needed. It was my first big #mom fail. But the next day, I go to the hospital, and Angelica is going in for brain surgery because she's developed a second brain condition called hydrocephalus. Essentially, the cerebral spinal fluid, or CSF, in our brain, there's like an imbalance between how much is produced and how it's getting absorbed, and there's a lot of pressure being put on your brain. And the most common way to treat it is by placing a shunt to redirect the fluid to another area of your body. So at 2 days old, she has 2 shunts placed. And as I sat in the NICU, holding her tiny hand through the little circle of her isolette, I thought, I don't know what to do. I have absolutely no idea how to handle this. But we were given some good news a few weeks later. We had moved up in levels in the NICU, and we had finally made it to the go-home floor. And I am just over the moon that we are getting out of here. I'm singing the theme song to the Jeffersons in my head. And that bungee cord just brings me right back down to reality. She has an infection. The next day, I go into her new hospital room, and I see her little body in her bed, and my heart cracks open. I feel so helpless. There are 2 IV poles, orange tubes sticking out of her head, draining CSF into the bags hanging from the poles. Externalized shunts. And again, I'm like, I have no idea how to handle this. So I do the only thing that I can do. I sit and I read and I tell myself, I will feed her, I will change her diaper, I will hold her, I will do everything I can. I will continue listening to the doctors and the nurses because they see this all the time. They know what to do. And the weeks are going by, and the infection's not clearing up. And I am becoming so agitated by everyone and everything. The machines, they're constantly beeping. There are wires and tubes everywhere. I am so tired and exhausted from living in the NICU, and I'm even more tired from hearing conflicting information from all the people that are supposed to take care of my daughter. And I finally feel like I know what to do. And so one day, I go down the hall to the charge nurse's office, and I say, I need a meeting with everyone on her team. I need to know who's in charge, what the plan is, and what we're doing to get Angelica out of here. I hear you, she says, but it's going to be really hard to get everybody together in the same room, and I can't guarantee that it's going to happen. I tell her, that's why I'm coming to you. I need you to make it happen. So the next day, I go into my daughter's hospital room, and on the board, team meeting is scheduled. And I know right before everyone comes in, I'm feeling all of this energy and sensations running through my body, and I know I cannot cry, I cannot yell, I cannot accuse anybody, I cannot lose it. I need to hold it together so that I could hold them accountable. And they come in, and they take their seats. And I say, hi, I'm Taisha, this is my husband Scott, and this is my daughter Angelica. And I thank you so much for all the work that you're doing to take care of her, but I'm really concerned that there's a lack of communication and that I'm hearing stories over here from this group and something different over here. I want to know who is in charge, what is the plan to help her, because while I understand she's not your top priority because you have lots of other patients that you're taking care of, she's our top priority. And her neurosurgeon raises her hand and says, she is our responsibility. While she is here, we take accountability for her. And I say, what's the plan? Another surgery to go in and irrigate around the infection site. So now, do we say yes to another surgery, or do we just wait here longer and see if it clears up on its own? So I say, fine. I look to my husband, and he nods, and everyone leaves. And as the door closes behind them, I lose it. Everything I had been holding in and pushing down comes roaring out of me. And he holds me, and I give into that hug. And I know, even though we didn't say it at that moment, we were both thinking, are we doing the right thing? Turns out we must have, because at 10 weeks, we finally left the NICU. And now, 7.5 years and 11 brain surgeries later, Angelica is living her best life. She is. She is the most radiant bundle of bouncing joy you will ever meet. And I know I'm biased. Every parent thinks that about their own kid, but God, she is truly something special. Whether she was fighting and it made me fight for her, or I was fighting and it made her fight harder, we were in that fight together. And we still are to this day. Thank you.